Welcome. I'm saying you listening to the Kf&Jf podcast, the Table of Bethesda. My name is Zane.
I am Sharon.
And I am Brandon.
And today we are going to be talking about a father's love. Whew. So yeah, you came up with this. You came up with this topic. Like, where were you? Where was your mind at when you came up with this?
You know, that's a good question. What actually happened was I was talking to a client last week, and he was telling me how he was basically talking about some of the accomplishments that he made in his life, but he was talking about how his father actually motivated him to do those things. And he was telling me that at one point he thought that his father didn't love him. He thought that his dad loved his older brother more. He felt like, he was a mama's boy because, his mom was like, I love you, and she was calling him and doing, things like that. And he said what happened was his older brother was really good at working on cars. His father worked a lot. So his father was barely home, and then when he wasn't home, he was working on a car, he was doing something, he was always busy. And it was a little bit of jealousy because it was like his brother was good at working on cars. So his brother would always go and help him and spend time with him, and he was kind of like be in the back, kind of hanging out with his mom. So one day, I guess his brother didn't have the time, or he was busy, whatever it was, he wasn't helping his dad work on the car. So he asked his mom, he's like, hey, Mom, do you think that my dad will let me help him? And so she said, yeah, go ask him. So he goes and he asks his dad, like, hey, is it okay if I help you work on the car? And he said, man, that was one of the best experiences he ever had. He said he wasn't very good at it. He said, but his dad was teaching him things. He said that his dad was, telling him, like, hey, this is how you do it. You're doing a great job, and it was like a bonding moment. And he said that after a while, his dad was like, man, go play, have fun. But he said before he walked away, his dad said, Liz, I want you to be great. I want you to go out there and to do better things. I want you to be able to not have to work as hard as I work. And so that just kind of motivated me because I feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work a lot. And if you know me, like, people are like, oh, you open at 4 o'clock in the morning? Who gets their haircut that early? There's people that do it. There's people that do it. And, sometimes it might be 4 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes I might not leave till 7. I got 2 other jobs on top of that. Sometimes I'll go in the shop at 4 o'clock in the morning. I may not get off to one of my other jobs till 10, 11 o'clock, and then get back and do it again. And I remember one time my son said to me, I was at home, and he's like, you're home? And, like, that struck me because it's like, if only you knew why I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm doing this so that you don't have to, I'm doing this so that I can provide for you, and hopefully you'll take what I'm doing and you'll pick up some type of work ethic. Hopefully you'll pick up some type of motivation to not have to work as hard. And this is just basically my action showing that I love you.
Right.
And sometimes a lot of times actions speak louder than words, because you can tell me you love me all day.
All right.
Facts.
Right? That's how it is with God. We tell God we love him all day, but what does your action say? So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Sharon, man. What is your example of a father's love, or for the love of a father?
Same example. Like, I didn't understand it at the time. I was so hard on myself because I worked a lot. I was in construction in a local 300 union, still trying to get back in. But I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm out the house at 3:30. I'm not getting back home until 7 o'clock that night. So I'm just going to work, and just when I get home, I'm tired, and I'm serving in the church. So I'm missing out on those times. So, like, my son, I think at the time he was in Pop Warner, he playing football, but I still missed out on a lot of events, even with my daughter, like Girl Scout, missing out on booths because I was just tired, worked so much, and there's ways I could have navigated it better to where I could have like, okay, no, I'm not doing that. I want to spend more time with my kids, my family. Not saying I wasn't a dad that was present. I was always there for my kids, but not realizing that those moments where it never dawned on me to spend the time.
You don't get them back.
Yeah, and that's why I try to tell people now, like, look, bro, don't miss those moments. Regardless of what you do, don't miss those moments with your kids. Don't let the world tell you, like, you got to work that hard. Yeah, you do, but you still gotta the time you still gotta invest it in. Because it was at times like when my son was playing football, like I used to take him to the park. He put on a 60-pound weight vest, and we doing wind sprints, back pedals coming out of breaks. I was breathing a DB. So I mean, I put in the work with all my kids in any sports that they play. You know, try to be there and be present and show them what you know, not living my life vicariously through them.
Right.
Just trying to give them the best tools that they need to be better. I always tell my kids that don't be nothing like me, be better than me.
Right.
And, for my oldest, you know, he don't. I tell him all the time, like, you broke a generational curse by going into the military. You know, because the last names, you know, it's the legacy that you try to leave your kids, and for them to understand the generational curses and stuff that you break from your grandparents or their grandparents, stuff that trickles down through generations. But that way he can start a whole new generational of wealth with what he did, you know.
Zane, what does this topic mean to you?
For me, it's I remember specifically, like, you know, when I was young, I used to get into a lot of trouble from like my whole high school. I'm saying it seemed like I was always into something.
Say go Eagles.
You know, like I was always into something. Like, you know, the homies calling, whatever. My dad worked construction, so my dad was always gone. But he was a traveling like foreman, so like he would be gone to like other states. So it was like, just, you know what I'm saying, me, my mom, and my sisters. So it's like, you know, my grandfather, you know, he lived in Trinidad, but he always used to call me and be like, yo, you need to be this, you need to be that, having conversations with me that my dad wasn't having. And I used to get like so mad, like, yo, Pops don't care. So it's like when the homies came calling, like, yo, you know, we about to go do X, Y, Z. Bet, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what you need? Grabbing rags and everything. Like, we running up out the door. Like, and then, like, became, 20? You know what I'm saying? I got my girl pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And I was working at KFC at the time. I was delivering chicken. Yeah.
Back when it was real chicken.
When it was finger licking good.
You know?
The original recipe.
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying, like, my girl got pregnant, and I was like, ooh. And my pops was like, yo, you can come work with me. And I was like, you ain't never did nothing for me before. Like, what? And that's how I was looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Love my pop. You know what I'm saying? But I was just looking at him like, I guess, you know what I'm saying, it's good money. So I went into construction, you know what I'm saying, and started working with him. Greatest years of my life.
Right. And
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You know? Because I saw what he had to endure. You know what I'm saying? Having to get up every morning, having to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, like, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We got to go to work.
Yeah.
We got to drive to L.A. At the time, we was working in El Centro. And I was like, man, it's like a 3-hour drive out there. I'm like, bro, like, and you used to do this by yourself? And then once he had me driving, I was driving in the morning. One time I was so tired because I stayed up the night before chilling with the homies. You know what I'm saying?
Thought they was gonna let him out the hood, but like, get up, why?
You know what I'm saying? You go there, you drive, and I end up running off the road and by the Salton Sea, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And my pops jumped up, and it was a good thing it was by the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, God. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was a lot of things that how me and my pops experienced once we started working together. When we started working in up the hill in Victorville, saying we coming down the hill, we have to get off work early. I'm saying we like, yeah, we out. I'm saying we chilling, we laughing, you know what I'm saying, listening to music. And he had like a little Ford pickup, right, a little Ranger. And we coming, if you know the Cajon Pass, you know what I'm saying, like, you'll be good in Victorville, and you get up to the Cajon Pass, and it's storming. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? It started hailing, you know what I'm saying, and car in front of us hit their brake. My pops slammed on the brake, and we went over the side. We went over the side of the mountain. And I'm talking about big flips, like boom, boom,
Wow.
boom. And I'm like, and finally we hit a tree. Saying, and this lady,
Grace and mercy.
bro, like out of nowhere, this white lady comes up and she's like, "Are you guys okay? Are y'all okay?" And I'm like, "Where's this white lady from?" I'm like, "Where you come from?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm okay." My dad's like, "Yo, I broke my arm." I'm like, "What?" And you know what I'm saying? Then we get back up to they jaws of life. You know what I'm saying? They gotta pull him out. Get Pops out. They pull me out. They put me in the ambulance. Airlift Pops out. And then I'm like, "Yo, where's the lady at?" And they're like, "What lady? What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, snap. That was a angel."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and it just like, it blew my mind because it was like, I went through my entire childhood not necessarily hating my pop, but I was just like, you ain't here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then when I started working with him, I realized why he wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he was really out here dealing with all
Politics on the job
all this
side.
stuff with the job. You know what I'm saying? The drive home, you know what I'm saying, waking up in the morning, having to make sure you're awake, and you know what I'm saying, like, he's tired, and bro, and I was just like, yo,
Just because of
and I went to him and was like, I'm sorry.
Well,
And he was like, yo, what you mean? I was like, yo, for the longest, like, and at that time I told him, like, the longest I used to hate you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because I didn't think that you really cared or loved us like that. You was never here. And now I understand why.
Yeah.
So you're saying you went through a moment where you was like, Father, why have you forsaken me, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes a father's just loving from a distance because
That's it.
he's busy. Just like when Jesus was on the cross, he felt neglected.
Yeah.
But the father was there the whole time.
The whole time.
You know what I'm saying? Your dad didn't leave. He was there the whole time. He was providing what you needed from a distance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man.
And I think all of us, we all do that at times too. I know for me, I grew up without a dad, so I did not have a positive role model in my life. So then that's what, you know, like we said in our previous episode, that's what turned me to take certain avenues that I really shouldn't have took. You know, cause not saying because I didn't know no better. Just being honest, I didn't know any better. But then as I got older, I refused to allow my kids to even turn that corner.
Facts.
To even look, actually even to look down that street, like, what you doing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think about going over there to play. Matter of fact, ain't no going outside. It's too hot. You know what I mean? If you're going outside, it's to the playground and watching your little sister. And that's why I always play sports with my kids. So if my kids are outside playing, they playing and at the park, I'm at the park with them and I'm hooping with them. They're like, yeah, Dad, I ain't playing. Yeah, my dad out here hooping with us. Like, yeah, every time they want to come outside, yeah.
You
They
know,
go outside, but when the sun go down, I go out there and hoop with them. But
yeah, hooping is great, but you know, even when you hooping, sometimes, you know, in our age, you gotta take a break. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna take a break.
like I said, time out.
Hey, it's Brent with Poppin' Wine Tours. Come out and join us 7 days a week. We got the best wine tour in town. All your tastings are covered. 17, 18 tastings, all of them are free. You get a driver, you get a guide, the best time in town. So come on out and join us today.
Let's go!
Welcome back. So let me ask you guys this. We've been talking about the love of the father and how a father shows his love differently than a mother. What about a mother's love is so much different than a father's love?
Oh, I'll take that first. I'll take the first swing.
Go ahead.
I like playing with fire.
Go ahead.
I mean, it was a time where, like me and my wife, we didn't agree on how I discipline my son. But then I'd explain to her, can't no woman teach no boy how to be no man. Then once she actually digests that and got that in her spirit, and I had to tell her, I'm like, if he don't have some sort of type, I'm not saying my son was out of control or anything like that, but it was the way that I wanted to discipline him. I'm like, you can't teach him how to be no man. Your job is what you're doing. You loving him, showing him the affection. But then once she understood that and she actually got out of the way and let me be a dad, let me be a man, the result was I'm not saying the finished result, but the result was great. It was a great result because people see my son before he went to military, and they were like, they see him out in the street and he's still mannerful, open doors, gentleman. He if he don't know you, he'll see an old lady, he'll help her across the street. He'll do stuff that he was raised taught how to do right.
Sound like he's a good man.
Yeah.
Yes,
So and it's just that it's sometimes women not throwing rocks at y'all or anything like that. Y'all can't teach no boy how to be a man. So if the father is present, let him be the dad, because at times if they don't obey the rules of the house, like they're not going to obey the law. And you don't want the police to kill your son out here in the streets, and you definitely don't want the streets to kill your kid. So if there's no in-house discipline, in-house rules, you're gonna be wilding out here, and they got stuff for kids that be wilding out here. We ain't talking from the penitentiary till they catching a bullet. So just being mindful.
It's important for a dad to be willing to be the bad guy.
Oh, I'm the villain, bro. My kids tell you they worked on a plantation. On me.
So you're willing to sacrifice being liked to keep them on the right track.
For sure.
But that's just you loving them, right?
Yeah.
And I just wanted, that to be emphasized. Just because your dad isn't,
he ain't your mom.
He ain't coddling you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not, and not saying that dads don't do that.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? We have our moments too, especially when you're little. But when you get to a certain point where we eye level or close to eye level, you kind of gotta be a little bit more aggressive with it.
Well, I still hug and kiss my boys to this day. My oldest 25, I still kiss him on his cheek. My youngest son 22, 6'5", 270, I still kiss him on his cheek. And just because I didn't have that type of affection, growing up. So being able to, I want them to pass that down to their kids. Love on your kid.
Yeah. Do we have this stigma in our community that it's weak or man, that's gay? Don't kissing me.
It gave me happy, so I hit you with that.
Not in this time.
Oh man, true. Whole nother conversation, but because it's I think generations before us, I think it was lost. Because I think at times the original, say the originals, but people that were before 10 generations behind us, they probably hugged and kissed on their kids and showed them love. Not say hug and kiss them, but showed them affection. Other cultures do it.
Yeah. It's just our culture.
Yeah, I ain't kissing my son. He a man. Right.
I'm
kiss on my son.
They like, if I kiss him too much, he might start thinking it's okay for him to get kissed by boys. No, it's a different. Even in the Bible, they greeted each other with a kiss. Right. It tells us to greet. It tells you to greet each other with a kiss.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that with y'all. I love y'all, but I ain't doing that.
Not at all. At all. Like you kiss me, I'm gonna be like
me.
I'm gonna be shocked.
I'm gonna be shocked.
I ain't gonna know what to do.
I'm gonna be shocked too.
Like he just slapped me. I swear he did.
No.
Chris Tucker say, which one of y'all? Which one of y'all kicked me?
Which one of y'all hit me?
Right.
Was it you?
Right. All right.
Getting back. I think that how it's important that how I'm saying kids understand that how there's a difference between I'm saying a father's love and a mother's love. I'm saying I think that how, but it's not that easy. I'm saying because they're still impressionable. I'm saying as children, And that's why I tell my kids all the time, stay in a child's place. But, you know, it's one of them things like they got to understand how God designed it by
Order.
By the order.
Yes.
I'm saying he had a design of how he expected this to go. I'm saying, and we have to follow that design. Like I'm saying, the man is the head. You know, so it's one of those things where it's easy to look at your dad and be like, or your father, I'm saying, and be like,
He ain't nothing.
he ain't this, he not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, mom let me do whatever. Like, for example, yesterday, right? My son goes to Six Flags. Mom's planned the whole thing. He ain't come ask me nothing because I would have had questions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Who,
Like, yo,
what, why?
you know?
Right. That's that
And
protector.
it's
in you,
just
though.
like certain questions my son be asking. Like, he's my son. I'll be forgetting.
Yeah.
So backing up before the Six Flags, his birthday was a couple weeks ago, and he says he goes to his mom and he's like, "Moms, can I have a sleepover?" And he was like, she's like, "Yeah, cool." And he was like, "All right, cool." So his mom is like, "Yo, who's all gonna be here?" And he was like, "Yeah, my boys that be coming over all the time, the twins."
The
Twins? What twins? And I'm like, there's only one set of twins we know about because this is his mom telling me, and I'm like, what twins? It's like the girl twins. What? I said he
We're
want to
gonna
do
pick
what?
them up in the morning.
I said,
Yeah,
yo, they can come over for the
the
little
festivities.
festivities,
Yeah.
but then they got to go home.
Right.
And
They
his
gotta go
mom is
home.
like, and then she reveals to me, well, he spent the night at the twins' house.
When?
What? Where's all this happening at?
It's different.
You know what I'm saying?
This different.
And I'm like, the mom was there? Yeah, the mom was the one who asked for Zane to come over. What? Hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
But shout out to nephew.
Let's talk
he not
about
like
this.
That.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things like, he knew he couldn't bring that to me.
Yeah.
He knew he couldn't to me with that. I'd have been like, what?
Oh yeah.
Hold up.
They go to mom for the foolery.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so
don't tell dad.
Right.
I'm like, and then she's just talking to me about stuff, and I'm like, yo, you should have came to me with that. You know what I'm saying? And now he went to Six Flags yesterday. I mean, not Six Flags. He went to Knott's yesterday, and I was just like, yo, like, I knew nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? All I heard was in conversation between, his sister and this person, and I'm like, hold up, where my son at? It's like,
Oh yeah.
he had nuts. I'm like, yo, like, what? You know what I'm saying? There's certain conversations, you know what I'm saying, that I would like to have with
privy
him.
to.
You know what I'm saying, before he goes certain places, to remind him of certain things, remind him who he is, remind him how, you know what I'm saying, the stigmatisms that how, you know what I'm saying, we have that's placed on us. You know what I'm saying? So to carry yourself in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And I know he knows, but sometimes as a father, you still need to reinstate that into them. You know what I'm saying? Remind them of that how, yo, when you're out here, I'm saying, not only are you a representation of yourself, but you're a representation of this household. You know what I'm saying?
You carry my last name.
You carry my last name. You know what I mean? So it's like,
That should mean something.
yeah. So it's just certain things that I just want, the younger generation to be privy to understand, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, your dad is, it's not that how we against you. I'm saying we just look at things differently. You know what I'm saying? We evaluate things differently. You know what I'm saying? More logical. Women, love y'all, but you know what I'm saying, y'all are emotional creatures.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
when
Like,
it comes to protecting our family, we're
Front
strategic.
runners.
Yeah, and we're strategic.
Yeah.
All
angles.
Yeah, we're not trying to be the bad guy, but sometimes women, no disrespect, y'all have rose-colored glasses on.
Man.
And
Especially for mama's little old man.
see everything.
Right, because I'm gonna tell you, like, when I'm with my lady, sometimes she got tendencies to, like, want to blow her horn at people, tailgate people, and I gotta, I gotta tell her, like, look, whatever you doing, I gotta deal with it, right? And not only do I have to deal with it, but the consequences, we got people that we care about in this car. Right? And sometimes they don't think about that. They think, I can just blow my horn and go on about it. People shoot through your window for you blowing your horn.
Man, let me
People
tell you
shoot through your
something,
window for you trying to brake check them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking after me because I'm a little more reckless when it comes to me, and men are like that.
It's like,
But when it comes to our family, we're more strategic.
for sure.
I'm so mindful of mine in the car. Like,
Yeah.
I got my second oldest, I'll say her. You know what I'm saying? Miss Aaliyah. You're my twin. I'm saying that's my twin.
Yeah, buddy.
For real, for real.
Yes, sir.
Little man, you know, he the prince, but she my twin. Same mindset, you know what I'm saying? The whole nine. So she just had a baby, you know what I'm saying? Love my baby girl, love my grandbaby. And she calls me one night. She was like, Dad, such and such tripping. He said, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Who? Not her man. You know what I'm saying? I love her man. Jay. Jay. Shout out, boo.
Shout out, Jay.
You know what I'm saying?
Love him.
Yeah.
Good
You
dude.
know what I'm saying? And I was like, what you say? So he knows who she talking about. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna blast him on the air. But I was like,
He didn't know
he
no
said,
better.
what? I said, hold up. Call Sharon don't answer. I'm like, let me call nephew.
Yeah,
Nephew.
he called my son.
I'm like, nephew, tell your
My
boy.
youngest.
Tell your boy. Does he mean what he says? You know what I'm saying? Because what he said to my daughter, to your cousin, that's out of pocket.
Yeah.
He said, Uncle, I got you. I'm saying, so that was my way of dealing with the situation. So when he called me back, he was like, Unc, it's already taken care of. Don't even sweat it. I was like, okay, bet. Because the comment that was made was like, I'm about to call my homegirls and they coming over to your house right now. Whoa, buddy.
Yeah,
You know
slow
what I'm saying?
down.
Slow down. So I just had to, my daughter, I just had to go back to her and be like, yo, there's certain things that how you got to understand how, you know what I'm saying, you don't say to a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I understand how, you know, you feel certain ways and you may feel that how my daddy is my protector, and I am.
Always.
But my job to really protect you is to prevent you from situations like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to just leave it like, just be mindful of what you do. Like, just because you got a dad that's involved or whatever, you still have women. Don't act out. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know what I'm saying? Wives, girlfriends, be mindful of like the situation that you're about to put your man, your dad,
Yeah,
your
don't
father
put no more
into.
excess weight that he has to bear.
Yeah.
If God ain't gonna put no more weight on him than he can bear, please don't.
No.
Volunteer.
That's because he knew he was going to have to bury y'all.
Hey, I mean, cause my wife is a horn blower, and the minute she'll get that horn, be like, "Come on, homie, speed up." I'll be like, I don't say nothing because I'll pop out the car on somebody.
Right.
See, that's the
Right.
problem.
Like, I'll
That's
jump
the
out the car
problem.
immediately.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, immediately.
Don't set nobody up for failure.
Yeah.
Come on,
You know,
bro.
that's what I'm saying.
We
Like,
gotta be mindful.
father's love is through protection. A father's love is through foresight.
Yeah.
But most importantly, for anybody who out here who is that's listening that is a father, planning on being a father, got a baby on the way, the Bible says to pray for wisdom,
Yes.
right? And you're going to need that.
Yeah.
You're really going to need some wisdom when you become a father, when you become a husband, when you become anything where you're in charge of anybody else.
Right.
Father, give me wisdom. Give me foresight. Let me be a strategic general of my own household.
That part.
Because the enemy is warring against the family. It's warring against the minds of myself, my children. The whole plan is to destroy us.
Yeah, because if he can't get to you,
Yeah.
He's going to
gonna
get
go
to
to
you.
your kid.
Yeah,
Right.
he'll find something. Somebody in the
Like,
house.
yo.
Somebody's a weak link.
you know what I'm saying?
Somebody's
I'm
a weak
gonna
link.
weak
Well,
one.
somebody ain't got their armor on.
Right.
That's why they tell you in the morning you put on the whole armor of God. Then he find out people that you're not getting dressed in the morning.
Right.
Like you putting on your regular, you putting on
Yeah.
these physical clothes,
right.
but you're
Let
not
me
putting
go
on that
get 'em.
armor.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you
Right.
slipping? Oh, we
Right.
got him.
Right.
Like, oh yeah,
Right.
Your formation ain't right.
And that's the mindset that fathers have. It's not that we don't love you. It's not because, you know what I'm saying? Some of us are going to show our love
Different
physically.
ways.
Right.
And that's the whole purpose of this topic. Your dad loves you.
Yeah.
He may not be able to tell you because whatever situation's going on between him and your mother, there's always a bigger picture.
Yeah.
There's always a deeper picture. But unless he tells you he don't love you, I'm going to tell you right now, that man loves you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For all young men out there that don't think they dad.
Young
don't
men,
love
young women.
Young
you know
women,
what I'm saying?
same
Like,
thing.
Yo, your
And some of them
fathers
just don't know no better.
Yeah.
And I was always taught, charge it to his head, not to his heart.
Right.
Because you charging it to his head, he didn't know no better. Because his heart If his heart was in it, he would know. Then that's when you can charge it to his heart.
Yeah. And I personally grew up with a stepfather. My biological father, I didn't meet him till on accident when I was like 18. You know what I'm saying? And
on accident.
it was on accident, literally. Did not expect to run into him. I never seen the guy before in my life. I actually went to high school with somebody else, and that turned out to be his dad also. So you know how that go.
Right.
But anyways, my stepdad was kind of, that's who I know as my dad. So what I'm saying is, basically, family doesn't necessarily make it blood either. Your father could sometimes be your uncle.
Right.
Your father can sometimes, it's going to be a stepdad. Whoever that male figure in your life that's trying to show you the right way, that's trying to be an example for you, I just want you to know he loves you.
I don't know how much more time we got, but I got one last
Go ahead.
breakdown.
Yeah.
I'm saying, so I was watching Pastor Mike this morning, saying, and he had a great breakdown. He said how the way and how this is how it should be. I'm saying when you're born, I'm saying as a man, not a man, as a boy, I'm saying you are a male. From a male, you're supposed to learn how to become a man through someone showing you. I'm saying a man showing you how to become a man. From a man, you're supposed to then become, I'm saying you're supposed to then work on becoming a family. I'm saying that's the whole purpose. I'm saying from manhood to family life. I'm saying, and then from family life to, I forgot what the last one was, but it was something to do with God. I'm saying, but the way and how he had it scriptured out, it was like, yo, that's deep. You know what I'm saying? And it is true. Like when you come into this world and you know what I'm saying, you grow up and you're learning how to become, you're a male. I'm saying that's how God created you. Then at some point in time, you have to learn how to become a man. I'm saying you don't just automatically go from male to man because you're, I'm 18, I'm 20,
because you got hair down
40.
there, you think
You know what I'm saying? I'm a man now.
Yeah, I got hair.
You gotta learn
Stop
how
it.
to become a man. You know what I'm saying? And then from there you learn how to now strive and become a family and so forth.
And that's just with the right tools and guidance.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick question for y'all real quick before we end it.
Yeah.
Somebody like yourself, Sharon, no father figure. Give them some words right now.
Stay true to your roots and stay obedient to God, because at the end of the day, obey God, not man. Man don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. And then regardless of what everybody else is doing, do what's in your heart that is right. God first, everything else second. Everybody's not gonna like what you do, and what you do is not for everybody. As long as you're doing it doing it righteously, in whatever aspect that is, in your call that God's called you to do, you'll be okay. And don't be scared to make mistakes. I think we were raised to think failure was bad. No, failure is character building. It's all it's gonna do is better you. So and it's okay to not know, and it's okay to say that you're not okay. Reach out, say something to somebody. If you call them your friend, you should be able to go and talk to them about whatever it is that's ailing you, that's bothering you.
Zane, what you got?
Real simple. Just make up in your mind. I'm saying if you got to make up in your mind, I'm saying what's who you are and what you accept. If you feel that how I'm saying your parent, your father, I'm saying is not being a good father, like what are you basing that off of?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are you basing that off of, I'm saying, just emotion? Or are you basing that off of spiritual finding? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you don't have a spiritual finding, I'm saying I suggest you find one. Don't just turn your anger or your resentment or whatever it is that how you're dealing with your father. I'm saying don't turn that to anger. Turn to a different light. Turn to God. Ask God, like, yo, I don't know who you are. I don't know nothing about you, but I hear people talking about you. Help me with whatever it is that I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Start there. You know what I'm saying? Start just having that conversation. If your father's not in your life, start there too. You know what I'm saying? Turn to, I can't say turn to another man just yet. Turn to God first, and God will place the people that need to be in your life around you. You know, when I started feeling that way, you know what I'm saying, that's what he did for me. Even to this day, I'm saying I always ask God to remove whoever is not supposed to be in my life and bring those who need to be in. I'm saying, so just try that.
Lock into a local church. You know, start serving.
Yeah.
Being consistent. You be God has never been inconsistent with us. We the ones that are inconsistent with God, and I think that's where it starts at.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for a mentor. You know, don't be afraid to ask the Lord to send you a mentor. You know, don't be afraid for the God to send you an Elijah. That's basically what we have for today.
Yeah, I'm saying good stuff, guys.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for the support.
Yep, follow us on all Instagram, social media.
Most
TikTok,
of
all
man,
that.
leave some comments. Leave some comments. We want to hear from you. We want to answer your questions. But more importantly, man, this is the Table of Bethesda. I'm Brandon.
I'm Sharon.
And I'm Zane. Salute.